So this is where Deku was a werewolf part 4. So I last left off where Deku, blah blah blah, fought. I last left off where the USJ got attacked and blah blah blah. So I start off when everybody comes back to school after the pretty much the days they have off because of the USJ event, the USJ attack. So they go back in class and everybody's talking about the big thing that's up next, the sports festival. Everybody's talking, and later that day, Zawa explains to the class they're doing that they were that the the sports festival is a good opportunity to get their stats up and for pro heroes to see what they got and all that jazz. So after the whole entire run through of what the sports festival can do for you, they all go back home. A couple of days later, the sports festival is here. So I don't think All Might knows what Deku is yet, so that won't really be happening. But I will be making Bakugo in the future know what Deku is going to be, and it might lead to something a little bit different about Bakugo's character. So let's get into it. So Deku is in his room pretty much waiting in the waiting room with all his pretty much friends. And Deku is looking at Ochako. Ochako is blushing at Deku, just looking back at him. And pretty much Deku, they're just having a stare off. And they're just blushing at each other. Ida looks at them and scoffs. And Bakugo looks at Deku and Ochako and scoffs as well, but just a little bit louder. So after that, Todoroki walks into the pretty much waiting room where Deku and his people are still, and Todoroki explains to Deku that I'm gonna win and you're gonna lose and all that jazz. Deku doesn't really reply at all and just say, "Do you?" And he walks out. He walks out being a little bit pissed because Deku didn't really put that much, you know, effort and didn't even talk back to Todoroki. After that, they get called into the arena, and they get told by Miss Midnight their first obstacle. They're doing an obstacle. Sorry guys, an obstacle race. So they get started, and they're in pretty much the sorry guys, my mom's talking. Um. They get ready, and they're at the starting line, and they get told to go. Deku is about to sprint off, but a whole entire glacier of ice pretty much sticks everybody to the ground. And Deku transforms to his beta transformation, his beta wolf transformation that he uses on the day and any other regular night, and breaks their glass using his feet. Deku jumps up in the air, pummeling on top of some robots, ripping them apart. Pretty much after Deku transforms, ripping robots apart, just taking out them, eventually getting to the mountain area where all the sleeps and slopes are, Deku just jumps pillar to pillar using his werewolf strength, getting across the obstacle pretty easily. We're catching up with Todoroki and Bakugo. Deku passes Todoroki and Bakugo to the mines, and Deku jumps over the mines with ease, jumps over the whole entire obstacle away from through the mines all the way to the end. Running and running and running, starting running on his all four of his legs, getting to the finish line and getting first place, passing through that race pretty fast. So after that, Deku's crowned in first place, gets the bandana, and Deku's a little bit, you know, scared because everybody's after him now because he got the highest score. But after that, Deku just calms down and asks Ochaku if she wants to be on his team. Ochaku says yes without hesitation, and everybody originally that was in Deku's team is still in Deku's team. So Deku does pretty much does his same strategy, but when Todoroki goes for Deku's bandana at the last straw, Deku transforms his left arm and pretty much grabs Todoroki's arm, but he lets go after Todoroki uses fire a little bit longer, burning Deku's hand off of his arm. And Todoroki does pull back his arm. But the match is over, and we move on to the next thing. The main thing for this, the 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 this is stupid. The 1v1s. So they get ready and they start. Deku goes up against Shinso, and Deku did get the same whole entire warning from the teleport guy in his class, and Deku does take it serious, and it just transforms into his beta form, sprinting right towards the guy, and not just knocking him out before he could say anything. So for the pretty much Deku does actually go up against another person. Deku goes up against Denki. Deku sees Denki about to go for a little electricity shock. Deku dodges it and transforms into his beta form, sprinting towards Denki, dodging another ball of electricity Denki throws, and Deku takes Denki's neck and chucks him down to the ground, knocking Denki cold. So we went on to the next match, to Deku up against Todoroki. Deku, before the match starts, Deku's in the hallway contemplating how he's going to beat Todoroki. And Deku sees Ochako walking in the hallway. He come over to Deku and pretty much just talking to Deku. But in that sort of second, Ochako confessed that she sort of kind of liked or loved Deku. Deku was confused, but also kind of happy. And he said, I like you too. And pretty much, you can imagine what they do. They don't do that. What you thinking, like, but like, they start making out. So that's pretty much just what happens. So after that, they pretty much, do their whole entire thing. They make out and they get interrupted by Bakugo looking at them with the disgust in his eyes and walking away. Deku does get a little bit of, discouraged, but Ochako says, I hope you do good, and walks off. So, after that, all the other matches start, and Deku was a little bit pissed at Bakugo because, you know, he beat the holy living shit out of Ochako. But that happens after Deku's fight with Todoroki, and we'll get into that right now. So, Deku is in the ring, and President Mike says start, Miss Midnight says start, and they go. Deku transforms into his beta form and sprints straight at Todoroki. Todoroki dodges and makes a huge ice glacier behind himself, almost pushing Deku out the ring. Deku jumps up into the air, uses his strength to do a sonic clap behind him, pushing him back into the ring, kicking Todoroki down to the ground. Deku starts ramming, just scratching, and just clawing the living flesh off of Todoroki. Todoroki ignites his arm in ice, making an ice shield, but Todoroki uses his ice to freeze Deku's hands. Deku breaks the ice off of his hands and sprints on all fours towards Todoroki. Todoroki dodges, making an ice pillar underneath his feet, pushing him up against the air. Deku sees that it's in the air and grabs Todoroki's left leg and pretty much body slams him straight into the ground. Todoroki is hurt, but he releases the biggest iceberg of ice he ever made, pretty much almost freezing everything about Deku. Freezing Deku solid. They're about to call a match, but Deku breaks through the ice, grabs Todoroki's head, and pretty much chucks him out the ring in seconds, winning. Pretty much everybody's surprised that Deku literally just chucked him out there, but they do realize that Deku's eyes are completely whited out. They're confused, and Deku snaps back into his human form, and his eyes turn a little bit normal. They turn emerald green, like normal. So Deku was confused that he just blacked out, but Deku just shucks it off. They start, and we start the next match, and Deku gets more pissed and more angry because Bakugo did beat up Ochako. And Deku and Ochako are kind of sort of a thing now. It's not official, but they are. So Deku pretty much gets angry, and the next match, is Deku versus Bakugo. They get in the match, and Deku is just ready to just go ham on him. They start, and Miss Midnight says start, and Deku transforms to his beta transformation off the bat, sprinting right at Bakugo. Bakugo dodges, and Deku grabs Bakugo's leg and body slams him right into the ground, breaking a few bones, like just throwing him in there. Deku Deku starts pummeling Bakugo, not letting him get up at all. Bakugo's trying to use his quirk, but Deku grabs his hands and start throwing them on the ground, just going ham on Bakugo, just making Bakugo a bloody mess at this point. They're about to end the match. They put pretty much a block of concrete underneath both of them, trying to break it up. But Deku's not stopping. He breaks through some concrete walls and tries, pretty much try to pummel Bakugo one more time. Cement Head makes a cement dome around Deku, but Deku busts right through it with ease and sprints on all fours towards Bakugo. Bakugo gets up with an explosion in his hands, pushing him onto the other ring. Using all of his leftover strength, every last bit of it, breaking through bones in his body, on his arms, blowing pretty much, sort of like 1% of a nuclear bomb type of explosion. Deku Deku gets pushed back out of the ring, almost getting out of the ring, but he uses his claws to lash himself into the concrete. Bakugo's just letting it rip. He's keeping it up for about 10 minutes, just letting all of his energy out. Bakugo goes on one knee, coughing up blood, and seeing his hands bruised up like Deku uses his one for all quirk. Deku runs over the Bakugo, but pretty much after that, Deku falls down to the ground because, well, werewolves aren't fireproof. Because the traditional way to kill a vampire in the olden days was to burn them. So Deku is a little bit burned, and pretty much it comes down to a tie because both of them fainted at the same time. So Deku and Bakugo, they don't know what to happen, so they just do a pretty much, what was it? Oh yeah, what they did for Kirishima and, what they did for Kirishima and, what was it? Well, Kirishima and Tetsu Tetsu. For their finisher, they do a hand wrestle. They put their hands together and they're pretty much just going at it. Deku transforms into his beta transformation again and just try going at it. Bakugo's using a little bit of explosions underneath the other part of his hands, trying to go, but at the end, Bakugo loses and gets thrown off the pretty much desk they're doing this at because, well, he gets thrown down to the ground because Deku's using all of his strength. Deku's crowned MVP, and Deku was crowned first place. After that, we get switched to the League of Villains, and they're in their pretty much room, not actually even talking about the U.S. Not even kind of sort of watching the UA Sports Festival, but most of them are getting bit by Shigaraki. Probably wondering why Shigaraki biting them is because you'll figure it out later. If you already know what I'm going to do to Shigaraki, you'll know, and you can comment down below. So see you guys later. Bye and deuces, and come be in store for the forest training arc, because that's going to have a lot of lore, and it's going to be really good. So, if you want that, give me a thumbs up, and see you guys later. Bye.